Hello, Mr. Taylor. My name is Avril Johnston and I'm a student social worker from the hospital. I've been asked to come and speak with you today regarding from your wife. Is that right? Does that sound about right? So what I want to have a wee chat with you today is just about how you're coping at home. I do realise that you did have a stroke, just about your mobility, how you're coping with your wife in hospital, your wife's discharge from hospital, any fears, concerns you may have, and is there anything else that you would like to focus on today or to discuss?
Well, that'd be very nice of you to, this is between us, like.
It's between the two of us, but what I work as part of a multidisciplinary team, so at times I need to share things with other members of my team. Right. When that happens, I will disclose to you what I'm sharing, who I'm sharing it with, and the reasoning behind it. It saves you repeating yourself to numerous different people. And also, as I'm a student, I may have to confide in my supervisor if something's above what I can deal with. But anytime I'm doing this, I will make you aware of what's happening. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. That's very clear. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. So I believe your wife's in hospital at the minute.
She's been in hospital now for 14 weeks. She took a stroke on March the 3rd, and she's it was the worst day of my life. I thought we'd lost her, and then I thought when I seen her for the first week in hospital, she was just a shell of a woman. She wasn't, but she's improved remarkably now. This last 8 or 10 weeks, she's up, she's walking, she's back to her old sparkly self, giving off as usual to me and giving off to everybody. And the doctors have sort of said to me that, she might be able to leave hospital very soon, and I'm really looking forward to that, because it's a real lonely furrow you plough here without her, you know what I mean?
I'm sure. It's probably such a shock for you too, with her being in, and I'm sure you're so relieved to see her make that improvement and just to give you that bit of peace of mind.
Absolutely.
How are you coping at home without her?
Well, at the start it was a bit of a shock, because she's the sort of boss around here and gives out the orders and sets the agenda, and so you were sort of a bit low. There's days you wanted her to take a good long walk, but then when she's away for a day, you're lost. You lose the structure of your life. You don't. But I mean, as the days when I go to see her twice a day, every day, except Sundays, because you're not allowed in until the afternoon, and it's been very lonely.
Yeah, I'm sure it has been. And when you're used to having that company with you all the time, how are you finding? I'm sure it's quite stressful going up and down to the hospital a couple of times a day. Are you managing that okay?
I mean, I've got really good community support here, and one of my best friends is a taxi man.
Okay.
And Anna gets the day in, and by the time I get back home from the afternoon visit, I'll make something to eat and lie down for an hour, and then I'm just ready to go again. I can't really imagine getting a day in without her.
Yeah.
And I think I hope me visiting her makes her feel a bit better, feel a bit more wanted, and accelerates her recovery.
Yeah, and I'm sure, you feel totally lonely without her, and I'm sure she is feeling the same way. You're such a big part of each other's lives, and just glad to have that company. I believe you have a daughter as well, and what's her relationship like with you both?
It's all right. Our Jolene's she's a number one gal. She looks after herself. She lives about 15-20 miles away.
Okay.
And she would only visit her mummy once a week, maybe. And she'd only come down here before. Her mummy had a stroke maybe once a month.
Okay.
She's a busy girl, and she's got her own family, but I mean, what she did, I didn't like what she did. She went behind my back and suggested to those doctors that her mummy should go into care.
Yeah, I'm sure you do feel a bit betrayed, and let down. Have you spoke with your daughter? Would you understand her concerns around this?
I would, but I think she undermines my ability, and she also she hasn't seen her mother now in about 4 weeks. She undermines her mother's miraculous recovery in many ways. Well, there is a wee bit of dementia. Sure, we all get a bit demented as we get old. I'm 76, she's 69. Of course, we forget things, but don't forget the main thing. She doesn't forget to when I visit her, she doesn't forget to tell me to make sure this plugs off and that plugs off, and make sure that door's, and make sure the milkman's paid, make sure the cold man. She doesn't forget that.
Yeah, so she's the boss of you, isn't she?
She's the boss. She gives out the orders, and I mean, I can't imagine how she could thrive in any other environment.
Yeah, no, so I can believe that you know, even the thought of that must be, traumatic for you, thinking of not having her around the house. And obviously, have you spoke with your wife over her feelings around coming home and where she would like to be?
I was a bit afraid to say anything because I didn't want her and Jolene to fall out.
Yeah.
Because I think she would, she mightn't see it like me. I would be more the forgiving type. And
okay.
I don't think I'd ever feel as warm towards Jolene again. Her mummy mightn't talk to her, and I think that would damage both them, and it would damage us as a family unit.
Yeah, and so you just want to really protect your family and cause as little friction as possible, with the whole thing and the transition, of your wife obviously coming out of hospital.
That's it. I think that's what all men want to do, isn't it?
Yes, have an easy life. So
have an easy life.
So with you having a stroke, I seen you could have struggle with a bit of mobility. Has there been any adaptations to your house, for you to make life easier for you, or do you find that you cope okay?
That's one thing I wanted to bring up with you. My big fear is that I or her could take a fall.
Yeah.
Because I know that's the most vulnerable part of the day, is getting up and down the stairs, and I would like some help. If I can get some help, like the Johnsons up the road they have a brilliant thing. They have an elevator in the corner where you sit in the chair and takes you right up to your bedroom.
A stair lift.
Yeah, that would be the perfect thing.
Yes.
No, this isn't a stairs. This is actually in the corner.
Oh, is it?
The stair lift is something else.
Yeah.
You sit on and up you go. This thing's like a wee elevator where they go up in the corner. It's very funny actually. You disappear into but the next thing you're in your bedroom, and that would be something I feel would help me and give me an awful lot more confidence about her,
Yes, so if you had that bit of support at present, do you have any support? Do you have any carers or anybody that comes in and helps with you or your wife before she obviously went into hospital?
No, when I got out of hospital a number of years ago, there was these wee girls come around from some community care thing, but they only stayed 5 minutes.
Okay.
Made you a cup. In fact, they didn't make you a cup of tea. They come around, told you whether Lauren had beat Carrickfergus in a football, and away they went, and then they come back at night for an hour, 5 minutes. But there's be things that I would need help with. I mean, maybe it's personal care.
Yes.
Us, man, we can't be doing them sorts of, that's for them wee girls to do.
Yeah.
So I would like some, I mean, the two big issues in my mind are the lift and people washing and dressing. Yeah,
so you feel like the carers that were in before really didn't provide for you what they should have been, realistically providing, and you would like maybe someone with a bit more to give you a bit more help just in the areas that you require, rather than just coming in for a wee chat.
That's very well put, actually. That's exactly what I'm thinking. That's very well put. I would like a wee bit more time.
Yeah.
And I want these has to be wee girls now. It can't be up my man, because it's my wife.
I can understand that.
Has to be wee girls, or some wee girls like him. I don't know.
Yes. So just to summarise really what we spoke about today is that you're keen that your wife does come home with yourself, and get discharged. You don't want to create any friction between your family unit, your wife and your daughter, so you want it to the transition to be as smooth as possible, and you feel that with a bit of help that you would be able to assist your wife and her needs at home with obviously the right help in place. Is that sound?
That sounds like an absolutely 100% analysis, and so that's exactly. Wish I could have said that 20 minutes. I'm sorry to keep you.
No, do not
I
be
could have
silly.
said that 20
Do you know
minutes
what?
ago. That was very good.
This is what I'm here for, okay?
it?
So would you be happy enough to meet with me next week? What I can do then is go and have a chat, and we can then come back. I can give you any ideas that I have had and who I've spoken to, and we can come up with a care plan, give you a bit of an idea of services that we could provide and assist and make that transition, you know, as smooth as possible, with creating as less hassle for the pair of you.
I'd love to meet you again. Yes.
Perfect. And does this day, time suit you okay?
Absolutely.
And
yes.
you're happy enough to come in, there's no issues with
Absolutely.
that? Not a problem. Well, Mr. Taylor, it was lovely to meet you today.
And you too.
And thank
What's
you for
your
coming
name,
in.
love?
My name's Avril.
Avril. That's a
yeah.
lovely name.
Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
I will see you next week, okay?
Okay. Thank you very
no
much.
problem.
Now.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
There, you were glad that's